Hi, welcome on to Transfer Daily. And yesterday evening, there was a flurry of activity around all social media where Edison Cavani was once again being linked heavily to Arsenal. The fee said to be around about £51 million. The rumour out there right now is massive that Edison Cavani is, Arsenal are interested in him. Arsene Wenger would like to bring him in. We heard before from his agent that he claimed that both Arsenal and Liverpool tried to bid for Cavani earlier on in the year. And these rumours are flying around again. Now, what seems to, I'm not sure what started these rumours, but the Metro newspaper, who've gone really big on this, are saying that Edison Cavani could move to Arsenal if PSG were to buy Angel Di Maria. That would then make him surplus to requirements. They'd have to get somebody off of their books because of financial fair play, and Arsenal would be very interested in signing him. Now, whether this is just speculation where they're putting two and two together, or whether they've heard something, I don't know. But don't get me wrong, Edison Cavani, we've spoken about this before. He's a quality player. He was considered a couple of seasons ago to be the best striker in Europe. It was a lot of people saying it's either between him or Falcao. Didn't have the greatest of year last year for PSG. Not a very good season at all by his high standards. And even in the World Cup, he failed to sort of light it up for Uruguay. It was very disappointing for them as well. But he's a sort of player that in the Premier League would frighten defenders. If he could find back that form that he had for Napoli when he was there for a few seasons, he was absolutely brilliant. Now, would it be a good signing for Arsenal? There are still a lot of Arsenal fans out there that feel that we do need to bring in a striker, even though we signed Alexis Sanchez. A lot of fans feel that Giroud is not that world-class striker that we need and that we should bring in somebody else in alongside him. Now, Cavani would be a very, very expensive signing, but would be a very exciting signing. I don't know. I still think that Arsene Wenger is going to probably stick to the strikers that he's got at the moment. But if this did happen, it'd be absolutely massive. So Cavani being linked once again to Arsenal. Another player, striker, that I saw linked again this morning, and I keep hoping. Every time I see this link, I kind of shudder and think, please, I don't want this to happen. And it's Solomon Kalou. He used to play for Chelsea, of course, plays for Lille. There were definite rumours one time. I think it was Ancelotti or one of them who came out and said that Arsene Wenger wanted to sign Kalou, which I couldn't. I've never been able to understand because I just do not rate him as a striker whatsoever. Well, he's available apparently for about £3 million. And there's rumours that Arsenal might go back in for him. Now, I really can't see this one happening. I really don't hope it happens either. Another one that's been flying around like crazy today is this Stefan Mbia link. Now, Mbia plays for Queen's Park Rangers, holding midfielder, can also play as a centre-back. He's 28 years of age. He is currently, or was currently, on loan at Sevilla. He's going to be back at Queen's. Well, no, sorry, he's a free agent now, so he's open to make contracts with whoever he wants. He won't cost any money. And there's big rumours flying around today that Arsenal are willing or wanting to talk to him about a possible move to Arsenal. I really hope again that this is not true. We want a top-class defensive midfielder. We don't want somebody like Mbia who's not good enough for Queen's Park Rangers, but suddenly, because he's available on a free, may be good enough for Arsenal. I would be totally distraught if that's what we bring in. I think that the two guys we've got already, Arteta and Flamini, are much better than him. So I can't understand. I'm thinking, is this an agent rumour? If I was the agent of Mbia, of course I'll be trying to talk up my player. He's a free agent at the moment. If I talk him up saying that Arsenal are interested in him, it helps me to possibly do a deal with some of the other clubs that are looking at him, which there are quite a few clubs. There's a lot of clubs across the Premier League who are interested in Mbia, but I'm hoping that one of those is not Arsenal, because we need a quality player in that position, and Mbia is not the one. Talking of quality players, a player that I really would have loved to have got in that position, who now that is going to be definitely out as well, and that is Javi Martinez. Looks like he's picked up a really bad injury playing for Bayern Munich, and he's going to be out for quite a while. He's done his, it looks like he's done his cruciate ligament, and we all know once you do that, you could be out for a season. So the Javi Martinez thing to Arsenal, that is completely over. That's definitely not going to happen with him picking up that really bad injury. Kostas Monolos again linked heavily to Arsenal. Centre back. This is one I think does have legs. Arsenal do need a centre back. This guy is a quality player, does fit the bill, young player, and would represent a very decent signing for Arsenal, I think, if they were able to get hold of him. He's been linked again this morning with a move from Olympiacos to Arsenal. A lot of the media outlets seem to think it's a straight fight between Juventus and Arsenal as to who gets his signature, so we're going to have to watch this space on that one. And a player being linked with a move away again, Serge Gnabry, seems to be wanted on loan by every single Premier League team going at the moment. The latest team to be interested in taking him on loan is Aston Villa. Aston Villa would like to take him on loan. Once again, he's going to find it very difficult to get into the team this year, so it would be good. He's a player that's got a massive future at Arsenal, no doubt about it. So it might be a good shout to send him out on loans for him to get a good Premier League experience and come back a much better player. We know that probably Thomas Rosicky will, after this year, not be playing for Arsenal. You never know with Rosicky, the way he looks so fit these days. But he's coming towards the end of his career, and I would have thought that Serge Gnabry would be that player who will then be able to come in and take over. But sending him out on loan and getting him some good experience will be a very, very good look. Let's see what you guys had to say yesterday about some of the players being linked and some of the players that you would like to see coming in at Arsenal. Michael comes with this one, and you know what? What Michael says here, I remember last year I was one of the people, I'm never scared to admit when I said things, I was one of the people saying, go on Arsenal, go out there and get this player. And there was loads of Arsenal fans, and he's all kind of like a forgotten man. And that's Marian Fellaini. Michael says, what about Fellaini? He's not wanted by United. He had a bad first season under Fergie, but Wenger could improve him. Now, Fellaini, I think what we found out at Manchester United is that he's not a holding midfielder. You can't really play him there. That's not where he played for Everton. He sort of played as that second striker, that person just behind the striker. And we've got loads and loads of players that can play in that position. And he's not a defensive midfielder. And we need a defensive midfielder. Knott's Motion says, Monolos is a crap of a club level player. He's like a Ron Vlaar. He's very slow and gets caught out, and he's very inexperienced. So he's not feeling him at all. El Hayes actually replied to him and said, did you see when he played against Manchester United in the Champions League? And Matt Hawkins also answers him and saying, are you watching the right player? I actually seen this guy, and I think he's a decent player. Norwegian Gooner says, I'd rather have Carvalho than Tiote. Remember yesterday we were talking about Czech Tiote being linked with a move to Arsenal. Vidal 7498 says, don't think Tiote is the man, but we need, but I prefer him to Arteta or Flamini. I personally wouldn't, because we need to, if we're going to bring in somebody in this position, it needs to be an improvement on what we already have. And Czech Tiote a couple of years ago maybe, but I just don't think he'd be an improvement on what we've already got, and we need to improve on that. Alex Slowick says we need Halverdies. He was brilliant in the World Cup, and I think we can get him. We should not get Agger. Halverdies came out yesterday and said that he's very happy at Schalke. That, of course, doesn't mean that he wants to stay at Schalke, but you know, he's saying that, you know, I've been at Schalke for a very long time. I'm captain. I want to stay at Schalke, so he may stay at Schalke. Bradley Norris says, what do you make of the Stefan Mbia rumours? Well, you already know what I make. I'm not too happy about those wouldn't be the sort of player that I think I'd like to see Arsenal signing. That's not what we need. We need somebody of real top quality. That position is so important that we must fill it with the best possible player that we can get hold of. Alliance HD says, why don't we go for Daley Blind? Daley Blind, good cover for centre back and can also play at left back. Seems like he's going to be going to Manchester United. He's got a very good relationship with Louis van Gaal, so maybe that's why that one is a no-go. Let's do a few more here. Gooner Kamal says, Robbie, read these comments. Caught offside are not a media outlet with any superior ITK knowledge. They're just a group of free men in one rented out office block who put names and teams in a hat and take them out and make false predictions and false articles. Like, listen, I think that's a bit harsh. They are a massive media outlet. They get a lot of transfer rumours wrong, but not only them, loads. Listen, I was thinking to myself, I'd like to get a lot of these media outlets at the end of the get the information from them, do a little survey at the end of the January transfer. At the end of January, I'm always saying January transfer window, end of the summer transfer window, and try and find out how many of them they got right. And I'll tell you what, it'd be a very, very low percentage. However, in defence of them, at this time, you get loads of rumours flying around. A lot of them, as I said, are pushed out there by players' agents who are trying to get them a move. So it is a little bit of a game sometimes, you know, but some of these rumours are genuinely given to them by agents. And if they're given to them by an agent, you know, these outlets are going to report on that because there is a possibility that they could come true. Tremaine Brown says, seems as if Gooners are divided. Half of us think we need a world-class striker and a backup centre-back, while the other half think we need a world-class defensive midfielder and a backup centre-back. We definitely need a world-class defensive midfielder. We definitely need a backup centre-back, possibly two. And listen, it wouldn't be a bad shout to bring in a striker either. But I think those latter two positions are what we definitely need. Hunt Greeny says Tiote is bang average and it won't happen. And again, he's not too happy about caught offside making these, you know, coming with this story. He just thinks that it's a no-go. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Red Armory says, please, let's get Costas. He's so underrated. Really hope we can get this deal done. He said, I commented on your World Cup Daily a while ago about snapping him up. He's a very, very talented defender. And last one I'm going to do here is Mr. Armes 2001. He says, I wanted Tiote 2 years ago. He's not as good now, and we do not need him. And well, I think I've got to agree with you right there. It's not what we want right now. Definitely not what we want right now. We need a world-class holding midfielder, or we need somebody, I don't know, of star quality. Even if he's, I don't know, not world-class, but he's got the potential to be world-class. That's what we need in that position. And to me, Czech Tiote doesn't fit the bill. Mbia doesn't fit the bill. These guys, no way, no way. We want to have better than what we've got in these positions. And it's a vital position. I really want to see Arsenal challenge to win the title this season. And I think that is one area that we must address, because when we've got the ball, there's no team better than Arsenal in the Premier League. But when we don't have the ball, sometimes we look bang average, and we've got to sort that out this season. Thanks for watching Transfer Daily, and we'll be back this time tomorrow. And thanks for everybody who's been supporting and watching the Transfer Dailies right throughout the summer. Really, really appreciated that. Don't forget to continue subscribing to Arsenal Fan TV, and looking forward, really, really looking forward to the weekend. Arsenal versus Crystal Palace, Aston Villa. That was last season, and we all remember what happened then. Crystal Palace, it's all going to be good this time. I just cannot wait.